Well, maybe?
Phoenix.
Hello, my name is Gisette. It's my pleasure to host you today. We'll be discussing the second act of the new TaAAM project by the My Favorite Protection Squad. I want to keep it simple. Our dialogue will progress scene by scene. We'll discuss highlights, make a joke or two, and have fun. Let's begin, shall we? Maya and Gumshoe approach the boat shop. They're in broad daylight, but that doesn't make them feel less determined. Maya knocks on the door. No response. She knocks again. LAPD! She tries the door. It's unlocked. Gumshoe says, "This is our chance, pal," unknowingly quoting his prosecuting partner. And scene! I very much enjoy this scene. It's a creative inspiration. I know I just did a skit, but now we're gonna end it out with another skit, because I thought of 2 skits while watching the scene alone. Let's begin, shall we? The high-tech safe is discovered via metal detector. Though what is a safe without a passcode? Maya inquires. They didn't teach you how to code break in detective school by chance, did they? They taught me how to code break, alright, pal. Just 10 pounds of nitroglycerin, a Lincoln Continental, and sunglasses. Sunglasses? We need to get away in style. The scene's in the records room, and Gumshoe is supposed to be guarding the door. But we'll talk about that in a minute, because right now I want to talk about the actual case. You know, the case that I couldn't follow, that I wasn't following? So are we saying Grossberg told him to fake insanity, or did Yogi think of that himself and be like, yeah, I'm gonna feign insanity and you as the defense are gonna back me up? If it was Grossberg's idea, well, what I was thinking is that if it was Grossberg's idea, he's like, oh, I want this guy to be innocent, I'm not gonna lose. That's what I was thinking as I wrote this note, but we'll talk about that more later because it's found out in the next scene. Oh my god, the next scene's so long. Now, Gumshoe was supposed to be guarding the door, and then Von Karma comes. 600,000 volts is actually so scary when you actually think about it. So, the instrumental is foreboding as is. It's just listen to it. You're in danger. That's all I can say. You're in danger when you hear that music. And to think that the guy you just realized is a crazed man is right behind you in a small dark room, and Gumshoe was supposed to be standing guard. From the perspective of Phoenix and Maya, you have the faint thought of, what did he do to Gumshoe? 1 second, Von Karma is calmly saying, you should know, I don't make deals with defense attorneys. And then he pulls out a stun gun. Like, no demands, no nothing. He asks for the letter, they don't give it. Okay, it's time for violence. And they're trying to reason with him. You already know he asked somebody to commit murder. He didn't just ask them to commit murder. He gave them a checklist of what to do and what order to do it and when to do it and why they would do it. This man cannot be reasoned with. He tased Maya and then pressed the creases out of his suit. Anyway, look, this man is crazy! I'll Be There reprise rings throughout the kingdom. Bells chime and the children sing and the flowers bloom. Our 2 heroes, the relationship is resolved. Maya's doing her best, and that's good enough. The story closes with that good note. Except the evil warlock took the letter, and tomorrow we must fix it. Tomorrow, alas, is my favorite Turnabout song. There's no competition. Emotional, beautiful, climactic. What else could compare? The song is basically remastered in TaAAM, and Edrith's opening verse has the Latin chorus, which regurgitates the idea Man from Von Karma planted. Since when you think of the Latin chorus, you think of, well, Von Karma. The lyrical change is much more simple yet powerful. Who shares what ideas? Who differs in motivation? Who says what lines and with who? And the melody, oh my god, everything just comes together to subconsciously tell you what everyone is fighting for. And I'm simply moved. It's so genius, and for no better words. Coming into court, Maya and Phoenix switched lines to solidify them of being on the same team, the same page. They are the defense as one. And Maya still ends the song. That has always been one of my favorite things about Tomorrow at Last. Just Maya killing it at the end. Phoenix is not messing around today. We open up trial just after tomorrow at last, and Man from Karma tries to speak for the defense. Phoenix is like, the defense can speak for itself, and we're ready. Because, no, you just tased us last night. Are you kidding me? No! We're not playing games anymore. That's what's not gonna happen. We're not playing games anymore. And he's gonna cross-examine that parrot if he wants to cross-examine that parrot. You can't do that! It's a mockery of the judicial system! What are you gonna do? Cut my pay? Yes. Don't take nobody's nonsense. None of that. So, Yanni Yogi gives us a play-by-play for what happened during DL6, and wow, Grossberg really thought he had suffered brain damage, and that's interesting. Because I suppose, like, that's the only thing that truly made sense to Grossberg, because it's not, he probably did believe in his client, but like, in a more twisted, not straightforward way, in a sense that like Yanni Yogi's saying what he believes to be the truth, but maybe that's not the truth. So he believes in him, but like he has to pick up the pieces for his client. So he said, "Yeah, you suffered brain damage." We get that not guilty verdict. We're all celebrating, woohoo! And then 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵𝓼. And you know what? Phoenix stayed up all night thinking of every possibility, even preparing for 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 thinking he's guilty. Von Karma and Phoenix are playing 4D chess, that's for certain, with time travel and everything. So 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 confesses and he has to testify. And Who Killed Gregory 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪 is up there in the top 5 favorite TaAAM songs, that's for certain. This is an event. Everyone is invested. Everyone is on the edge of their seats. 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 feels guilty for the supposed crime, for doing this now. Doing it to Phoenix. Having him sit there and sit and fight for him for, what is this, 2 days? He doesn't know he get tased, but he went through a lot, and yet he's like, actually, I am guilty. I am guilty, Phoenix. Don't try to fight for me. I'm sorry, but I'm guilty. And then Phoenix responds with, that's nice, but you're innocent. Just brushes him off, basically. And woo! Let's go, Gavrock. Wow, the emotion during this trial is so shocking. The man who told us to take a plea deal. Oh, wow. But like, I didn't express this ever before, but that scene shocked me. Oh my god. The production team right now. Big brain. Because, wow, he really told us to take a plea deal. I almost couldn't comprehend it, really. Just seeing him, wow. Not a single thread is left loose in this show. Even Maya finds her closure with her mother, because it's so easy to forget that DL6 affects Maya and her family as much as it affected 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪, since 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪's father is the entire victim, and yes, he's tricked into believing he's the killer the whole time, and forget that Misty Faye and all that happened, because that's like after the initial murder. Everything in the show just ties up in a nice little bow, and it's so satisfying. Is this what attorneys do now? They have full-on not guilty parties. Is that just a thing, or are you guys just weird? It's reminiscent of a birthday party. I think that's intentional, but it's still odd. I don't care what you say. It's odd. It's weird. It's weird. So Ace Attorney of them. Oh my god. Larry gives him a bum rush hug.
Don't touch me!
Speaking of Larry, he calls 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 babe. Babe? Yes! My mom and I spent the whole car ride discussing them as a couple. It'd be so chaotic. Just disaster would follow them everywhere they go. The Larry Ladder road trip, imagine it. And this scene is actually my curse, I swear. I'm sorry for joking. I made that TikTok and it's the worst creation I ever made in my entire life. It's so dumb. It's literally as foolish as I can get. I don't even want to show it, but I will. Because it clearly depicts my gut response.
Well, maybe?
Phoenix,
Are you gonna kiss?
you don't have to say anything.
Oh my goodness, I think it's a kiss.
Beat. An embrace of,
Oh my god.
of some sort. Maybe.
Some sort.
In regard to 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵's end in the second game, Miles 𝓸𝓸𝓬𝓲 chooses death. With the backlash from the trial, people never follow through to the end and such. As we see in Turnabout Samurai, which follows Turnabout Sisters, people talk to Phoenix and they're like, so you're convicted for that trial, right? And he's like, I was acquitted. But nobody knows that. That doesn't make headlines. Even the continuous ridicule of Miles Edgeworth's prosecuting style. He followed the convicted man from 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 after all. What else did he learn from the Godwin's prosecutors? His mental health was unstable as is, and with the man who forced him into perfection being arrested and the chief prosecutor being demoted, he isn't forced into suppression. With everything that's happened, Phoenix, Steel 6, well, everything, he chooses to act. He chooses to change. He doesn't feel fit for all Phoenix asked of him. As Phoenix says, they could change the world together. They could change the law. And that's a tall order, and it seems too much for Edgeworth. And that's how I'm choosing to interpret it. Yeah, I'm going to keep being conspiracy theorist, because now we're going to talk about Phoenix, actually, and his issues. Great. Because no one's spared. Phoenix Wright definitely has attachment issues that have yet to be unpacked fully until the sequel. He's serious about Maya staying, not to disappear, and Maya thinks he's being dramatic, and probably acting funny. Just watch.
You know it's not too late. You could stay. We could...
Nick, it's okay. This is the right thing to do. It's up to me to preserve my mother's legacy. I'm gonna restart my training and become a full-fledged spirit medium.
Will I ever see you again?
Yeah? I'll only be a train right away. So dramatic. I swear Edgeworth must be rubbing off on you.
I didn't even read it like that until now, as I speak. You know when someone says something not too out of character but enough that it throws you off? You just have a feeling? Their energy is just different? All you can think is, why are you doing that? And afterwards you think back and you don't have all the clues to piece together what all that was about, and eventually you brush it off. Yeah, that was weird. Like this one guy that I used to talk to, I jokingly said, "You're so lonely," and he said, "Yeah, I am." And that was 3 years ago. I remember that to this day because I was so stunned that anyone could actually admit to that. Admit to that to someone they don't even talk to. But reading it like this makes it really feel like Phoenix honestly thinks Maya will never return. Never. Like this is a real goodbye for him. The final song of the show, Dawn, is ineffable really. Act 2 is emotional. This is goodbye. This is where they leave you wanting more. Wanting to go for another night. Until it hits you, the last night, that there is no more one more time. And really, all you want to do is cry. If you ask me for a scene that represents justice, it's the after credits scene. Stop. It's so satisfying. It's short, it's sweet, it's simple. It's... I'm very passionate about this scene. I very much am. I made a whole skit about it, actually.
Keep the fit, keep the fit. I know it's hot. It's really hot, but like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But the ending credits scene for TaAAM Act 2, though. I mean, literally everyone in that courtroom wants 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 gone. The door. They want him behind bars. Literally everybody. I saw that defense desk empty. And I felt pride. I was like, we did that shit. We said, objection. And then the judge said, guilty. I mean, we, being Phoenix, Maya, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and like all of them. We all as a unit, you watching too, we all did that as a unit. We got him behind bars. I know I'm dressed like 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵. Don't worry about that. The judge is so quick to throw his words back in his face. It appears my only role is to smile and say, guilty. And then you gotta feel like a straight loser. If Pink Dot is singing Ricky Killer to you, the veteran, you gotta feel like, take this L. Take it. Because it's yours now. No one else is taking L's. And that's why you died in jail. Yeah, that's why. 10 out of 10 would go to his trial. Just to leave, that is. It ends that fast.
I want to see Baron Von Fancy Pants get us what for? Absolutely. Yes. And this is where it's at. 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 has nothing. Not a defense, not a sympathizing judge, nothing. No power. It's so sweet. In the Edgeworth vs. State case, where Grossberg is the victim, 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵's witnesses couldn't even contain themselves. He couldn't control them. His downfall was inevitable. Bravo! Bravo! Brilliant performance from everyone! I feel almost honored to be able to review this. The further I get into the series, the more I feel like my efforts are not enough. I often fear my love for the series will be muddied by my naturally cold nature, that I may sound disingenuous or scripted. It is scripted, but you know what I mean. I am obsessed with Turnabouts. I have been since middle school. It helped me get through some of the darkest times. I grew up very lonely, and I've never had a lot of meaningful relationships yet. These creative pieces always gave me hope that there is something out there that I could maybe one day be a part of and actually be proud of, so thank you. I'm an idealist. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way. Carl Sandburg.